Look, I'm not feeling my best, but we're gonna try to do this Greenleaf review because I just can't be getting behind like this. I'm super behind. Anyway, welcome to the review. I'm Forbearance Greenleaf. Because, all their kids named after biblical terms and fruits of the spirit. So I'm Forbearance. And we just gonna get into it, girl. I feel awful. Absolutely awful. But we're here. I'm out of breath. I'm tired. It's just not a good day for me. It's not. I'm trying to give you high energy, but it's just making me breathless. Lady Mae got divorce papers. We sitting at the table having breakfast. What I don't understand is why Grace continues to try. I'd have gave up by now. I gave up a long time ago. It would have just been over and done with for me. But Grace continues to get up in the morning, come sit next to her mama for breakfast, and sit in this hostile environment. I'm not the type of girl that will do that. That's why I'm always in my room. Because, girl, I'm not fit to be out here in this hostile environment with y'all and y'all's foolishness. Not speaking on anything in particular, but just in general. We went out. My great-grandparents just celebrated their 72nd anniversary last Saturday. We went out Sunday. Everybody was, oh, you're just so quiet. You're so quiet. Because if I speak, it's a problem. And then if I'm mad because I done said something that y'all don't like and y'all mad, so now I'm mad, then I'm the irrational one. So I keep my mouth shut. And I don't see why Grace keeps trying. She keeps just steady doing and carrying on. And I'm just like, Grace, cut it out. Just stop trying. You don't have to try. One of them white girls sang it. It might have been Kobe Calais. Anyway, none of it makes sense to me, but that's just me. So we sitting at breakfast, Sophia, Grace, and Lady Mae. And, it's a stiff breakfast, whatever. Everybody's just kind of like, Sophia's giving lovely weather we're having, and Lady Mae's like, yes, I noticed that. So glad the rain stopped. Here come Grace. Wash everything anew, clean. And I'm just like, everything you say, whether good or bad, is gonna set your mama off. Why you do that? But no, nothing happened. She didn't go off. I fully expected Lady Mae to whip her head around and just be like, now, how dare you? How dare you? But she didn't. She kept her peace, as she tends to do in front of the grandbabies. But, Sophia's like, all right, well, God bless. I'm scooting on out the way because y'all on my nerves this morning. And, Grace is like, I'm finna go out. Me and Rick Fox going to that restaurant that you love so well. You want us to bring you back something? Sophia had the nerve to say no. I would have been like, yes, go ahead and give me a number 7. Like give me, you know what I like. Give me a fave. But she said no. That's wealth. That's when you have money. Because if my mama offers, yes, girl, we're going out to the function. You want me to bring you back something? Absolutely. Please do. I would love that. Thank you. Anyway, where was I finna go? Oh, yeah. So Sophia, she her grandmother says, well, I'd love for you to have dinner with me. It'd be so wonderful. Let's have dinner tonight. Sophia's like, yes, okay, great. And then she tips on out. Marisol comes in with a letter, a package. It's not a letter or a package. It's an envelope. There we go. In between. And she opens it and it says divorce decree or whatever, And the way they had it from her angle, it was laid out flat where it looked like Grace could have just looked over and saw what it was. But then when they showed it from Grace's angle, it was held up where Grace couldn't see it. And I'm just like, inconsistent, but continue. But Grace is like, so what is it? First of all, Grace, it's not your business, but I understand. Second of all, Grace, you know not to speak to your mama. Anytime you say anything to your mama, she gonna go off on you. She gonna snap. So don't speak, Gwen Stefani. And Lady Mae says just that. The way you spoke to me the other night, the only reason you're still living here is because you're family. That struck me a little wrong. It struck me strange. She didn't say the only reason you're still living here is because you're my child, because you're my daughter, because I gave birth to you. She said because you're family. Now, I could take that a couple ways. Let me break it down with the ways that I could take it. I could take it, she doesn't really like her daughter, so she don't call her daughter. I could take it, that's not biologically her daughter. I could take it, those are the two main ways that I could take it, but I also could take it that that's Bishop's daughter, not her daughter, because, listen, wouldn't it be some mess if we come to find out that Grace is actually Mavis and Bishop's daughter? and they done took Grace in? Because everybody is sitting here giving, what if Grace belongs to Lionel? But what if Grace is Mavis's daughter? Not even Mavis and Bishop, just Mavis's daughter. And that's why Lady Mae don't like her, because she don't like Mavis. It kind of maps out for me. I'm not saying that's exactly what it is, but I'm saying if it did happen, it wouldn't be so left field that I would be like, now, implausible. Because, she always talking about how Grace act like Mavis. You and Mavis, and y'all done got together, and it's just like, it wouldn't be a stretch for them to make that their girl's mama. But some in their girl's milk ain't clean. Grace is not 100% Lady Mae and Bishop's. Now, look. Because they were sitting at the breakfast table, and I'm sitting here looking at this child with all this natural, long, flowing hair. And I'm just like, now, listen here. And we'll never see her going to nobody's salon getting her sew in. Anywho, moving along, because I've been on this for far too long. We swoop over to the church. Bishop is on his way into the office. Corinne is sitting behind the desk, as she always is, and tells him Charity's in there. He says, why? And I'm just like, why y'all do Charity like this? This is why she out here acting a fool, because don't nobody love her. He walk in the office, Charity in there, she's giving, not Mama I want to sing, but Daddy I want to preach. And he's like, no, that's not for you. It's not your ministry. Find something else to do. Sing. Sing. Just go ahead and sing. And she's like, wait, the Lord, he spoke to me last night and he told me that our souls are songs. And he is the heavenly choir director. And I said, well, no. From inception, the Lord delegated choir direction to others. Lucifer, Samael, he was the choir director in heaven because the Lord didn't want to direct the choir. He had other things to do. He out here creating, building, and making. He said, well, we're going to put Lucifer here. He said, go on and direct this choir. Then Lucifer staged the coup. I ain't got time to teach y'all the Bible, but the point remains. That the Lord, historically, is not the heavenly choir director. If anything, Whitney is the heavenly choir director. Let me stop. But Whitney is up there directing that choir. Listen, Whitney is up there directing the choir. And now Aretha is singing lead. And that's just what it is. Leontine Price is on the organ. And Mahalia Jackson's there. She's singing in the tenor section. But moving along. Which, Mahalia Jackson apparently was Aretha's stepmama, so they reunited anyway. They, not legally. She wasn't married to C.L. Franklin, but word on the street, because C.L. Franklin. And Mahalia Jackson also was a little bit of a hoe. So they just kind of got together, linked up, and Mahalia had a hand in raising Aretha. And it just seemed so strange, because Aretha was so current. I know she was old, but she seemed so current, and Mahalia Jackson seemed so far in the distant past. But whatever, we're not talking about that. We're talking about Charity. You see, I just don't be wanting to talk about Charity, because I don't want to drag her. I don't want to drag her. She already goes through so much mentally. She needs to be put away. She needs to be in a home, because she makes up things in her mind. But we going to continue. So she said, I want to preach. Bishop said, did I ever tell you about the time that I wanted to be a baker? And, if things didn't work out, so I just decided that I'm going to open up me a little storefront and become the pastor of a church. She said, no, I never heard that story, Daddy. He said, because it ain't real. It's not real. Don't nobody ever just decide to become a pastor. It's never a plan B. I said, that's where you're wrong. Plenty of niggas just be like, I'm just going to open me up a church. That's what Jacob went over there and did. Because you wouldn't let him preach over at your church because he was cheating. But then come to find out you also a little skeezy. But yeah, he said, well, you know what? I'm just going to go over there and open up me a church. And what I don't understand is, Charity, why you don't just go ask your brother, can you preach? I'm sure he would allow it. Or go down to the Little Saints with Sophia and teach the babies. Or just start teaching on YouTube. If you really feel like you got to preach, start teaching on YouTube. At your house. Anyway, the girl's just whatever. Whatever. She gets on my nerves, but I just be like, why everybody treat her like this? Everybody do her wrong. So, Bishop drags her, kicks her, I don't know if he kicked her out the office, but next thing we see is he stepping on down to Grace's office because that's his favorite. So he going on down to Grace's office and he goes, have you talked to your mother? Obviously not. Obviously not. They don't like each other. She's like, no, what's going on? I wanted you to hear it from me first. And then it just kind of, I think it went to commercial or we went to a different scene. And I'm like, I'm sitting here thinking, what are we hearing first? Because, you know, when she got the papers, I'm like, I fear that these papers have been sent to her. Because they didn't show it in a way that let us know whether she had the papers sent to her and was drawing up the papers, or if he had sent the papers. And I'm sitting here like, it looked like he sent the papers, because they wouldn't have come in the mail like that. She would have went to the lawyer and picked them up and figured out and drawn up some things, and she would have had a copy, you know, from the lawyer. And because, listen, I've been through several divorces. I have been through, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 divorces in my young short life. I have sat through 5 divorces. I personally have never been divorced. I'm still married myself, but I've been through with others 5 divorces, so I have a general idea of how these things go. But anyway, moving along. Let me see. So Pastor Greenleaf is sitting in his office minding his business. Tasha Skanks comes in, which is Tasha Skanks on the Bobby Brown story? Is that Tasha Skanks that played baby mama number 2? Because she gave off a real Tasha Skanks, like she sounded like Tasha Skanks. And then she kind of looked like a 2, but then she kind of didn't. But she just looks so much shorter than Tasha Skanks. But Tasha, I know she may be wearing heels over here on Greenleaf. Is it Tasha? Somebody call me back and let me know. Anyway, Tasha comes in the office and is giving, well, somebody's been stealing. And I'm just like, we'll get to it. But he says, she says, somebody been stealing the offering. He says, bring me a list of all the, you know, the names of the girls that were ushering or whatever. And he looks over the names. He says, I want to meet with all of these people first thing Sunday morning. We'll nip this in the bud. And he tells her, don't tell them. You know, just let them know that, you know, we want to appreciate them. Don't tell them anything about any money missing. And she said, oh, I like the way you sang. Now you're preaching. And I'm just like, shut up, Tasha. Shut up, Tasha. I wish people would treat Tasha like they treat Charity. So May is at the bar, honey. She didn't order a Moscow Mule or something, honey. I don't know. My mama kept calling it milk liquor. She's like, look at the first lady over here drink this milk liquor. And I'm just like, mother, please. Please. She got this martini glass filled with milk liquor. And, you know, she's drinking. She listening to Mavis Staples up there singing the blues and giving it the best that she got up there. And then she look over, she see some ladies, a white lady, a black lady. She says, would y'all like to join me over here for a drink? She just steady drinking. She done order her fish plate. She eating and drinking. At least she ain't drinking on an empty stomach. She get to dancing, honey, and it's just, she was doing so much, so much. And then we swoop off to another scene, and we see Bishop. Bishop goes over to Jacob's church, and this whole scene was on my nerves. Bishop goes in there, he's got his head down, he's so forlorn, honey, and he's just, have you spoken to your mother today? And Jacob's like, no, I ain't heard from her, what's going on? Well, you know, back in the day, you know, your mother, she was going, you know, I met her and I loved her, and she had other plans. I asked her to marry me. She said no, she had plans. I said, yeah. Exactly. My mama turned to me and said, booked. I felt like, I said, that's it, booked. Just be too booked to marry, like myself, far too busy. She had other plans, but I closed down my little storefront church, and I quit my job at the factory, at the bakery, or whatever, and I packed up all my things. And Jacob said, well, where were you going? He said, I don't know. And I'm like, I really expected him to say I was going with her. We was going to make her dreams come true. But he said, I don't know. I said, well, okay, let me let you finish. He says, I wanted her to know that if I couldn't be with her, my life as we knew it was over. I'm saying, like, you done did all this packing up and canceling. Why you ain't just go with her? Why you ain't just go with her? So you really did stop this woman's life. Me and my mama both, again, turned to each other and said, dramatic. So he continues with his little story, and Jacob's like, what you do? He's steady talking. What did you do? Steady ain't telling him. What did you do? Jacob he was fed. Do you hear me? Fully fed. Fed up. So then Bishop finally says, I file for divorce. I said, I knew it. Fantasia. I knew it. I knew that those papers arrived in a way that indicated that she did not file for, because her reaction was very much like it could have gone either way. You know, she got the papers. It could have gone, you know, she sent for the papers. And then when she opened it up, it was very much like she was looking at it very, you know, sad and wistfully, as if she could have been filing for divorce. But my spirit was telling me that she didn't. But my spirit was also trying to say, well, girl, why would he file for divorce? He's not mad. She mad. But whatever. And he said it was stupid. It was a dramatic gesture for me to get her back. It don't, you know, it don't make sense. And I'm like, Bishop, when did you realize it was stupid? Because you had time to swing by the house and get Marisol to give you that document. You had time to intercept the handoff of that document to where May would have never seen it. When did you decide that was a bad idea? It didn't make sense. So Charity goes over to, what's this man's name? Kevin's house. Aaron is there with the baby. At this point, I think that Kevin is trying to aggravate Charity with this kind of foolishness, because why are you leaving your baby with Aaron? You don't know Aaron like that. Just because you love him. Y'all all need to have been going to the store. It don't make sense. But Charity pops in and, you know, Aaron is there holding the baby. She grabs the baby. She's all uncomfortable. And I'm really thinking it's homophobic, but we're going to keep our eye out. She wants to leave. He asks her, can you stay? You know, Kevin will be back in a second. We wanted to talk to you. She says, why? Are you moving in? And he takes it upon himself to tell Kevin's baby mama all they tea without Kevin. And me and my mama were just sitting there like, inappropriate. That wasn't your business. I mean, it's your business, but it wasn't for you to tell. She's not yours. But I'm trying to think, because I guess Aaron and Charity go back because they grew up together, kind of, because their mama and daddy was sleeping together. So I'm imagining that they're childhood friends, or at least childhood acquaintances. Because there are plenty of people that, you know, because I come from a preaching family. When the guest preachers and stuff would come to town, I'd play with their kids and all of that. So I don't know. I guess they have history as well. But it's just weird to me. It's very, I don't know. Their relationship is strange. Because I guess she just don't like him because he got Kevin. I don't know. Anyway. So Charity takes the baby. We see Charity and the baby in the car. He crying and she's shushing him. And I'm like, are we gonna have a car accident or what? Because anytime you see a car on TV, like, and it was raining, the windshield wipers, like, you expect to see the car flip over. When you see somebody driving in a car on TV, most of the time I expect to see, especially a dramatic show where people don't drive most of the time, I expect to see the car flip over, catch on fire, something. And I'm sitting here like, Lord, please don't kill Charity and the baby. Not the baby. Nathan ain't done nothing to nobody. He's just living. He's just a baby. Please. Please. Anyway, so they drive and she's shushing the baby. Every bit of it was on my nerves. We see May go over to a hotel. She had asked the bartender, you know, is the hotel, you know, is it all right? I don't like bugs. He said, well, it may not be what you're used to, but it's clean. So she go in there. She in there in her slip, looking in the mirror. My mama said, don't look in the mirror. I said, what? Why? She was like, anytime you look in the mirror, it's bad. When you're sick, when you're drunk, don't look in the mirror. I'm like, what are you talking? What? Y'all, my mama, bless her heart, she be going through so much. But she done looked in the mirror. Now she turned it on the TV, and Sister Patterson is on there. I forgot to say when they were at the bar, when she was talking to her drinking buddies or whatever. She was talking about how she was friends with Maxine Patterson and they were college roommates, and then Maxine Patterson decided that she wanted to go to Harvard School of Divinity, and she wanted May to go as well. She signed them, you know, they signed up, applied or whatever, and both got in. And May was on her way, and she decided not to go because she fell in love. And I'm just like, I don't want that. I don't want any piece of love that's going to keep me from doing what I want to do, but alright. I guess that was the grand gestures of the day, honey. Should have been him, though. he should have given up his dream. And if preaching was his calling, he would have found a way to preach either way. But all right, girl. Anyway, so now May is at the hotel. Maxine Patterson is on the TV, and she done balled up, and she going through. She didn't wash her face or nothing. I'm like, you just gonna go to bed. All right, go off, sis. Anyway, next thing we know, we see Jabari on the stage with this young lady. She's singing. She sounds good. And Charity is standing off on, on the sides looking. And he's giving, what are you doing here, when he comes, off the stage. She's like, I came to see you, her and Nathan. He's like, you drove 7 hours with Nathan to see me? Like, it's kind of foolishness. And she was like, yeah, but I just missed you so much. Is this the young lady you replaced me with? We can let her go because I'm here now. Very New York, but I'm here now. So what's up? And it just, I don't know. Everything about this scene was on my nerves. She was begging to sing. She was begging to be with this homosexual. She was just begging, and I hate begging. I hate begging. I hate begging. With all caps. I was going to say with a capital H, but the whole word is capitalized. I hate it. She was begging for this man's time. She was begging for his attention. She was begging to be with him. She was begging to be a family with him. She was begging to be back on the road singing. And, she then asked, because he's like, I ain't really feeling all this. She was like, well, why didn't you just break up with me then? And he's like, because I didn't know if I wanted to. And I'm saying, like, sir, you are homosexual. You're homosexual. Yes, you did know. And then he goes into, but now I know. We're done. And I'm just saying, like, y'all would never. Can we just acknowledge that Jabari was using his body to keep these girls on the road? Because he's not straight. And I won't stand for the slander that he is. Anyway, so now Charity is heartbroken. She going through, her lips quivering, she crying, and they getting back on the road. And I'm like, this is just not safe. All this emotional driving she doing. It's not safe. So she get back on the road. She takes a phone call from Kevin. He asks where she at. She says she on tour. Charity. First of all, no, you not. Second of all, why would y'all would just get into a comfortable place. Why would you do anything? Charity just like upsetting folks. When she's upset, she likes to go around upsetting folks, and that's on my nerves. Moving along. I can't wait to hear what the other YouTubers have to say. I know Duran Provost can't stand Charity. So I cannot wait to hear what he has to say. I can't wait to hear what Miss Honey has to say. Like, everybody, I can't wait. Especially about Lady May, because Miss Honey is going to break down Lady May. I'm assuming. I don't know. But I'm assuming. Let me see. Oh, at one point Charity said she thought that Jabari loved her, and I'm just like, you did? Romantically? That seems incorrect. And he says, I did love you, and I'm just like, romantically? Anyway, we see Tasha and Rochelle out to drinking. All these folks just be drinking. I didn't grow up with saints that drank, personally. I grew up with saints that did no such thing. Pants were a big if. A huge if when I was little. We wasn't supposed to be wearing pants. I started wearing pants to the church. Just as an act of, I want to wear pants to the church. Folks be like, it's an act of rebellion. No, it's an act of, I would like to wear pants on Wednesday night to church. Because, girl, it's Wednesday night. It's not Sunday morning. And I started wearing pants, and now the girls just come as they are. And I'd like to thank me for that. I'd also like to thank me for the children dressing up in costumes at our annual church Halloween celebration, because I started that as well. I went as David one year, and the children caught on. You're welcome, saints. You're welcome. I don't ever get my credit. Anyway, we see Tasha and Rochelle out at the bar. They talking, honey. We come to find out Tasha got a little piece of heart, and she asking, why are you doing all of this? And I'm just like, you didn't get the full story before you started cahooting? You don't understand the plan? You just go along with it? Rochelle showing her evil side, honey. I can't wait to see what Miss Honey has to say about that. And she's giving, Tasha's giving, don't you worry about God and your soul? And Rochelle is like, girl, Greenleaf killed my daddy by burning down his own church for money. My soul be alright. That was like the whole gist. It's like, my soul will be alright. And actually, I love this. I love this scene. I love how we got Latoya Luckett speaking in her regular voice, giving you country, southern, just regular. I loved how she was actually telling her evil agenda because, it's cute watching her slink all around and be, you know, nicey. Credit to Michelet. But I just love to actually see her going forth and being evil because we know she's evil, but we never really see her acknowledging the evil. We see her going around giving, oh, girls, hey, how's it going? And all that carrying on. I want to see her just be outright evil. Just be evil. Just be evil. So she was being evil, and I loved it. She was being southern, extra country, and I loved it. Every bit of it. I was standing. Because honestly, Destiny's Child made me feel very comfortable being southern. Like, we all know I'm half Yankee. The Yankee side just kind of made me feel ashamed of being southern. Even though it's like, girl, you procreated somebody in the South. It doesn't make sense for you to make me feel bad for being southern. But I did. I grew up having a complex about being southern and sounding southern. Because I don't actually, I didn't grow up speaking as southern as I do on these videos. It's actually a revelation that came to me in the last 2-3 years. But Destiny's Child really made it fun for me to the country, be southern, to want to wear cowboy hat and boots, and enjoy my life. And just hearing, I was going to say Latavia, one of my faves, Latoya, be southern, just, it warmed my heart, my cockles. And, I stand for an evil villain. We stand a villain here, we stand a villain. So the whole scene just made me happy. But moving on, honey. I forgot to mention that Grace and Darius went out to dinner because I don't talk about Grace and Darius on this channel. If you catch any of my reviews thus far for this season, you will see that I have not spoken about Grace and Darius once because I don't like Darius and I don't feel that I need to speak on him. I feel like he's a plant. I feel like he probably is a skank as well. Just like I feel like Zachary or Isaiah, whichever biblical name this boy has, Zora's boyfriend, I feel like he also is a skanks. I feel like it's skanks everywhere. They're just all over. But anyway, they went to dinner. Grace was telling him the predicament that they were in. He asked if she wanted him to call his connect at the police department and have Rochelle checked out, see what's going on. So he comes back with that information and says she checks out. She don't come up as a skanks at all. Okay. She's clean. She just checks right on out. I would have been, if I were Grace, I'd have been like, oh, well, let me see the papers. Let me see. But that's just me. Anyway, so she checks out. Last thing I want to talk about is Zora and Jacob. Jacob had done told Clarissa that Zora's stealing. Clarissa said, no, she's not. She's a good girl, Jacob. And I'm sitting here like, what do you know? What does Clarissa know? Because for her, this drastic change in her character between last season and this season, first and second season, she was terrible. She was on par with the devil. She was awful. And now, all of a sudden, she's sweet, she's caring, she just, she's defending her child in her wrong. It's one thing to defend your child, but you know your child wrong. What do you know? What did you do? What's going on? She got to feel guilty about something, or she has to have knowledge that we don't. Because her character change it's got me sitting here like, who is this? Who is this? This is like when they changed Darren's on Bewitched. And they went from Dick York to Dick Sargent. Just all of a sudden, it's a whole nother nigga. And they looked alike, but they acted differently. And we just sitting here like, whose Darren is this? Whose Clarissa is this? Whose drawers are these? I wear a size 4, Maya. So Clarissa's like, no, not our daughter. She's a great girl. She's a good, she was up there giving Donald Trump isms. Wonderful, beautiful, marvelous, fantastic, great girl. She's a great girl. And I'm just like, since when? Since when? She was smoking weed on the first episode of the series. She been acting up the whole time. She set the trash can on fire at the church lock-in. The garbage can outside. Since when? So he telling her all episode, the girl done stole this money. She done stole this money. She done stole this money. And Clarissa's like, not our baby. No, she didn't. I won't believe it. I won't stand for it. Not our daughter. And I'm just like, she did though. She did. So after the Sunday morning where they had the meeting with the ushers or whatever, he believes now that she did it. He busts up in her room. Well, he tries to turn the knob. The door's locked. And he's like, didn't we tell her not to lock this door? Again, I would not know anything about it. I didn't have a door until I was 17. And when I got that door, it didn't have a lock on it. It just had a knob. I got a lock at 21. 22 is when I got my first door with a lock on it. So I don't know anything about this life. These kids locking these doors don't make sense to me. So he banging on the door. She opened the door. She like, what? What's the problem? He busts in there. He started tearing stuff apart. Where's the money? Where's the money? She's like, I don't know what you're talking about, because she's from New York. And it's just like she's a great actress, but certain words, it's like, honey, you got to southern it on down. You got to bring it, but it's all right. It's all right. She don't know what they talking about though. She don't know where the money is. She says, and Clarissa's finally like, now if you stole the money, just tell us where it is. What happened? Jacob tearing up the room. He all in the closets. He ripping out drawers and boxes, flipping them upside down, dumping stuff. She like, ain't no money in here. He sees a little black box inside the closet. I'm like, hey, you just go straight to, because let me tell you, if I'm hiding money, you gonna have to tear up the room, the carpet is where I had a little pocket under the carpet where I hid some. It's not important. You gonna have to tear up the room to find money. Tear it up. I'm talking about upside down. Boy, you turn me inside out and round and round. I said upside down, you turn me. You feel the love instinctively. Round it, or that ain't the words. Yeah, it is. Round and round, you turn me. I say to thee respectfully. Point remaining. You would have to flip the room all the way up. You would have to open up the TV, like on Big Mama's house or Soul Food. When Big Mama had all that money in the TV, you had to open up the TV. You would have to open up books. You would have to open up pads and tampons, like shoes. Rip off the bottom of the sole of my tennis shoe and find some money. You would have to find the money. But he opened up the box, opened up the closet, opened up the box, and there was money. And he picks up the money. I told you she stole the money. And I'm just sitting here like, can you verify? Can you verify that that's the church's money? It's cash. Can you verify? Now listen, I grew up in church. What I did not see in those buckets, because my mom was like, well, why would she falsify the envelopes? Well, no envelopes in the buckets. She stole straight cash. So the thing about it is, how would Tasha have known that somebody was stealing when it was just cash in the buckets? It wasn't wire fraud. It wasn't, she wasn't out here on the church's cash app cashing out any money. How would she have known? Because if at a regular church, without envelopes, you just put a $20 bill or a 5 or a 10 or a 1 in the bucket, nobody really has a record of what you put. And even if they did have some sort of documentation thing, if there's not money inside of the envelopes, then how do you know still? So they busted up in her room. They done found money. How do you know that's the church's money? I have money in my room right now, in this very room right now, that don't belong to the church. If you say that I've stolen money from you or from the church or whatever, you come in my room and you find cash, how you know that's the cash from you? Because if you come in my room, it's not. This money I've been had. X-Man been Storm. Laura been Croft. I've been on Nicki Minaj. So it just don't make sense to me how they walked in her room, found cash, and just knew that was the church's money. That don't come together for me. And my mom was like, well, because they took her wallet and they took her cards. Yeah, if you take my wallet, if you take my cards, you'll have the cash from my wallet and you'll have my cards. That don't mean I don't have money in my room. Like, I see where we're trying to go, and yes, she did steal the money. But as the daughter of a lawyer, that may or may not be the church's money. Tasha, did she give you a number of how much was stolen? And did you look at that money and see how much it was? And she, from what we saw, she stole a $50 bill. I saw a 10 in there. Looked like I saw a couple ones. So even if that was the church's money, she spent a little bit of it, broke the bill, and you really don't know if that's the church's money. I'm urging the courts for a mistrial and acquittal. I am urging the jury to let her go because insufficient evidence. It's not enough evidence. Free my client. Now my client needs a butt whooping. She does need counseling and all sorts of little things because she did in fact steal that money, but we cannot prove that this money is that money, and for that she should not go to jail. Thank you so much for listening to my closing statements. I'm gonna leave it up to the jury. If you think that Zora should go to jail, please comment guilty. If you think that my court case, my closing remarks were enough to keep her from jail, comment not guilty. And this is just based off of this. Now, we all know she stole the money, so we know she's guilty, but I'm talking about in this court of law. You cannot prove. Moving along. I got other things to do, and I don't feel well, so I'm finna to do my things. I don't know. Because I know y'all looking like, what is this? I took a rubber band and a skewer, a barbecue skewer, a kebab skewer, and a little piece of paper, and I wrapped them around each other and made this. I don't know why, but I did. And that's where we are today. So, anyway, y'all, like, comment, subscribe, and share these videos. And I'll catch y'all when I'm feeling a little bit better. I plan to do Bobby Brown and all of that. But, girl, I am wiped out from this video. So, I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.